What's up? What's up? So, real quick, so I was just sitting here, eating and chilling. It's 10:01 on the timer, 10:10. And oh wow. Season 3, episode 24. Testing. One, two, three. That is crazy. Every time I pause this and get ready to talk to y'all, there's some type of synchronicity on my TV. Anyway, um I am talking to someone or a group of people, okay, um, who have either been pre-existingly diagnosed or who was never diagnosed, okay, um, with autism, okay. I didn't find out that I had a form of autism until earlier this year, right? And I didn't even remember the memories of the meltdowns that I used to have when I was a kid, right? 111 on the time. Um, so my grandfather had me, he didn't want me in the streets or anything, He didn't want me to become a product of my environment, right? So he kept me in sports, right? One, two, three. He always kept me busy. Like if it was off season, then let's say I played football, right? Let's say if it was off season football, I'd be playing baseball after that. You know what I'm saying? Or basketball or whatever, right? Um, and I was stimulated by learning, right? Um, I was a self-taught type of kid, right? I taught myself everything, right? And of course, what my grandfather father taught me, but as in like going through life, I realized that when I was younger. Now I know that it was spirit telling me, right? Excuse me. Spirit told me that I'm self-taught, right? And that's how I learned damn near everything, right? Self-taught. Um, and I understood that at an early age, which is wild as well. But anyway, I say that to say I'm starting to remember certain parts of my childhood that I did not like really understand, like football, for instance, right? I played for the Sacramento Raiders, right? Pop Warner football. I played for like three years, I think. I hated playing though, right? I liked the sport, right? I just did not like the violence of the sport. You know what I'm saying? Um, Even so, more so than that, yeah, I didn't like getting hit, right? And I didn't like the violence of it. Okay, love football though, right? Um, and the fact that there's so many people, right? You got the team players, you got the people who understand, the parents, you got you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people, right? And I used to get bad anxiety, okay? Especially 3 through 3 on the timer, especially on the way to the jamborees, right? That's when the beginning of the season. That's when, like the preseason game, right? That's like when you 3, 4, 5 on a timer, when all the teams in the surrounding area they come and they compete against each other in a jamboree, right? It's like the start off to the season, basically, right? If I'm remembering it correctly. Um, and that was my favorite. I loved the jamboree. That was my favorite time of the season. That in championship, right? Because we won the championship like every year for a long time. Um, I still got my trophies and everything. Well, my grandfather had them. I don't know where they are today. Seeing as what happened. Probably burned all my shit, or yeah, all those memories are probably gone. I'll probably never see them again. Those things again. But yeah. Anyway, I'm starting to learn now about my autism. Right now that I'm balanced. Now that I don't have. I mean, at times I can have a meltdown, right? But it's more controlled. You know what I'm saying? And it's more regulated, right? Um, I'm one of those on the autistic spectrum that physical touch calms me down, right? Um, Being held, you know, and it's funny because I didn't have a lot of affection when I was a child, right? Yes, my grandpa was affectionate with me, absolutely. I mean, matter of fact, let me say that differently. Outside of my grandfather, there was no affection nowhere, like anywhere else in my family. And at the time, I wasn't old enough to understand that when I got in trouble, right, I thought it was abuse. You know what I'm saying? Right? But I didn't think that on my own. You know what I'm saying? Um, my family members put that in my head. You know what I'm saying? When I wasn't around my grandfather, my family members would try to turn me against my grandfather, and and it was because my grandfather told me the truth, right? About my mom leaving me, about my dad leaving me, like everything. My grandpa told me the truth. He never lied to me. My grandpa never lied. He never lied to me ever. Um, and Physical touch, like it calms me down. And I think because I lacked it growing up, uh, I'm still trying to understand it, but I'm seeing that God is taking me back to dive deeper to see what maybe was suppressed, or you know what I'm saying? Um, and people would think that, like, there's something wrong with autistic people. Actually, it's the opposite. Actually, it's the opposite. Okay. Um, Very gifted. Very gifted. Very. Okay. We're tapped in to spirit, right? Naturally, we come into this world with our gifts and abilities. You know what I'm saying? And most of the times, it's not until later when we get older, right? And we have grown into ourselves and evolved and become more balanced, right? That we start to understand more. That makes sense. Um, so whoever it is out there who you're coming to that conclusion, or maybe you were diagnosed early at an early age, right? Maybe you weren't, right? But it is not what the world's depiction of autism is, right? You got to remember, the world takes what God makes and perverts it. Okay, so we are a gift to this world. You know what I'm saying? We're sent here on purpose, for a purpose, at the times that we're sent here, right? Are all of our purposes as big as the next person? No, absolutely not, right? But that doesn't make it any less important. Does not make it any less important. Okay. Um, so I just wanted to touch bases with y'all. Those of you guys who are coming to that conclusion, okay, or similar conclusions. Um, it's just learning more about yourself, just diving in, right? I mean, and if it bothers you, you can take the word autism out of it, right? Because it's just a word to describe a group of people, right? Okay. Um, but yeah, and it came out of nowhere. I was just thinking, and then it was like, boom. You know how spirit comes out of nowhere, like, here, look at this, right? And it's usually when it's the most quiet, right? You're the most quiet and able to really hear and pick it up, right? I was watching this clip from a show or a movie, and it was this girl, and she was talking about a horse, right? The horse was looking over at their direction, and the girl was like, "The horse is what would she say? The horse is looking at us." He was like, "How can you tell that the horse is looking at us?" Because the horse's head was straight forward. The autistic girl, was like, "Well, because the horse's ears turn in the direction that their attention is, right? Their ears turn in the direction that they're, you get what I'm saying, right? and they didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? They were like, oh, right, and she's just schooling them, telling them things that the average person would not know. You know what I'm saying? 10 on the timer. So, um, we are literally tapped in naturally, right? Naturally. So, don't ever think that that means there is a deficiency with you or there's something wrong with it. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay? Actually, absolutely quite the contrary. Okay? You are very special. Very special. Okay? So don't forget that. Do not forget that. Remind yourself of that every day. And it's not, I'm not telling you to tell yourself that because it's not true. I'm telling you to tell yourself that because it is true. You get me? So I'm not just, you know me, I don't do the fluff. I can't stand it myself, so I would never. I'm not going to fluff you up and do it. No, 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 no. Okay? I'm saying it because it's true, not because I'm trying to make you feel better. Okay? Even though I am trying to make you feel better. But it's true. You know what I'm saying? I will never fill your head up with something just to pump you up. Like, no, that's not productive. It's counterproductive. You know what I'm saying? Right? But know that, and those of you who are dealing with it, know that about yourself. Like, know that about yourself. You are very, very significant. Why do you think they put such a cap on autistic people? Because they want people to think the opposite. They want people to think the opposite, all right? And think that what they see in here, what we see in here, and everything. Oh, well, they're just autistic. They're crazy, or whoa, 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 whoa. People in their delusions, right? And when people don't understand something, they fear it, and what people fear, they try to destroy, right? 121, 123 on the time. So, you know, you ain't alone. You're not alone, right? And yeah, you should be starting to understand what, if you don't know already, what your comfort is as being a part of the autistic spectrum. Like I said, mine was physical touch, and it still is, right? Like, I love to be like, held I mean, that's how I've always been. You know what I'm saying? And up until now I know why. Right? That's why I know why I crave that so much. Like, I crave it. Like like your body would crave water if you were thirsty. You know what I'm saying? So when I don't have it, it kind of like stresses me out a little bit, right? So I'm being taught how to uh, level that out. You know what I'm saying? On my own, right? I didn't understand them before. Now I understand. Now I understand. But yeah, just wanted to bring y'all that. All right. Love y'all. 1313 on the timer. And I'll let y'all in a minute. Bye.